Hello everyone, good day to all of you, and I hope you're all doing well. So I wanted to do another accuracy test with the TelaAmmo. Previously I did one with the 7.62x39 in my Wasser 10. Today they just recently came out with their 5.45, which is going to be interesting at the least because 5.45 is pretty scarce at the moment. And I'll be testing this using my SLR-104FR right here, using a 1:8 power Schmidt & Bender short dot, firing this all at 100 yards. There you can see the target right down there. For comparison, I'm going to be using some Lugansk surplus ammo, which in the past when I've done accuracy tests with this rifle that has shot by far the best. Unfortunately, I have a limited supply of it, so can't really get it anymore. But I have enough for this accuracy test. And after that, I'm going to be also testing this against Vympel Golden Tiger, which a lot of people have been claiming the TelaAmmo is just repackaged Vympel. And I even saw some claims of that, despite mentioning it in my previous video, that there's absolutely no evidence for that. If you have proof of that, or like something that kind of leads you to think that, then do let me know. But the head stamps are different. Everything seems to be different with them. The grain of the bullet is different. Speaking of which, I almost did forget to mention that these are actually a pretty weird grain weight for 5.45. These are actually a 65 grain FMJ bullet compared to 60 grain being the norm. The Vympel I'll be testing today is 60 grain. The Lugansk is 69 grain. So we have kind of a good variety of everything. So I'm going to start with the Tela, since that is the subject of the video. The 7.62 did awful. That was the worst ammo accuracy I've ever experienced. So we'll see if the 5.45 is any better. I have a bit of a better setup today with the short dot. However, I'm not going to be using a bipod or anything because this is not free floated. This is just Zenico, just goes right on the rifle. I will be shooting off of a bag from prone because that will work the best. It won't impact the harmonics whatsoever. Here we go, and I'm shooting 10 rounds. There's that TelaAmmo you can see. Let's get started. All right, well, you all already know how that did. I can actually see how it did, and that's a pretty large group, but we'll see how that compares with the other two. I'm going to do Lugansk next, and I should also mention the bore was already fouled previous to this, so there shouldn't be any flyers as far as, you know, an oiled bore is concerned or anything like that. So I'm going to switch targets. Here is the 10 rounds now of Lugansk. Got the target switched out, so firing these. Here we go. All right, so I quickly paused there. Previous round, but I think that the primer blew out, given all the smoke. I'll see if I can recover the case. I looked for it, wasn't able to find it so far. Doesn't look like it was too weird of a flyer though, surprisingly, despite that. But I'm going to continue with the rest of the group here. Everything appears fine with the rifle and all that. All right, I'm doing the last 10 now. Vympel Golden Tiger. That was the last 10 with Vympel. Let's look at how this all did. So starting with the TelaAmmo, going in the same order that I actually had shot these in. So this, as you already saw, did have the biggest group, just a little bit over 5 MOA, which interestingly isn't terrible. Going to the Lugansk, I was actually concerned that this one would have a flyer, especially given that one of my rounds had that ruptured primer. It would be pretty indicative that there was something wrong with that case. So, but surprisingly, it was all fine. Everything kind of fell in line with how I would be expecting it, and it ended up with a 4.6 MOA. And of course, the Vympel, as you can see, shot also very, very similarly, just barely off. And if I were to do more groups, given how similar these two are between the Lugansk and the Vympel, these would probably end up being statistically identical. But you can see 4.6-ish, we'll say, MOA on both of these, compared to the little bit over 5 Tela. The Tela is, again, just like I saw on the 7.62x39, it is a bigger group. But actually, compared to the 7.62x39, if you want to watch that whole video, I'll have it linked, but I was getting a little bit over 8 MOA, sometimes even 11 MOA, just really, really bad groups on that. So actually, even though this is over 5 MOA, that's not terrible compared to what I was getting here, just about 4.5. So personally, I think that this is acceptable, and I'm going to be getting more of this. I don't really have many choices. That is one thing I wanted to touch on, is right now, and possibly even worse in the future, that TelaAmmo is kind of your only option for decently priced, I guess. The price has gone way up compared to what 545 used to be even just several months ago. But you know, your only other option is Hornady, for instance, which I've always had issues with that. Their primer seating is way too, it's not seated deep enough, and I've had a bunch of bump fires and a bunch of issues with their rounds. Surprisingly, TelaAmmo, they definitely do not have the best quality control, but I've inspected all the rounds that I bought, which is only a sample size of 90, and you know, they're all, I believe these are all from the same lot, all manufactured this year, 2024, but all of them were good. The lacquer was consistent. I didn't see any issues with the primers, nothing with the primer seating. There was nothing else weird with, like, you know, cracks in the cases or anything like that, which I have gotten occasionally on some other rounds for 545, like Tula, which I've had just crazy amount of problems with. But yeah, so far, not terrible. This is supposed to be non-corrosive. I didn't have any issues with the ones I shot here. Similarly, I didn't have any issues with the ones I shot in my 7.62x39. But you might want to be careful, because I did see a video by Buffman Range, which he did a test showing that some of these actually are corrosive. So again, going back to their quality control or lack thereof, they may have maybe mixed in some corrosive primers in some lots, but these have been fine for me. But if you do shoot a lot of these, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of get in the habit of really cleaning out your rifle every time, which can be annoying, but regardless, better to be safe than sorry. I'm going to keep shooting this ammo. If I have any catastrophic failures with the ammo or notice anything weird in the future as I'm stocking up on more of it, I'll probably make a follow-up video to let you know. But as things are looking now, this is actually, I'm shocked that these are actually significantly better than their 7.62x39 offering. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if you have any other questions on this or anything else in the comments below. Hope this was informative. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.